Elgato teamed up with mic manufacturer Lewitt Audio for the capsule of the Wave DX. The Elgato Wave DX cost $99.99 US. Inside the box, you get the microphone, a 5/8 inch mount with 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch thread adapters, plus the quick start guide. When it comes to build quality, this is an end-address cardioid polar pattern XLR only microphone with a frequency response of 50 Hz to 15 kHz. The microphone weighs in at 1 pound and boasts a hardened steel chassis, which Elgato says reduces internal noise artifacts. This is also the first time I can recall a microphone having a removable logo. Plus, you can fix the single mount on either side and rotate the logo towards or away from the camera. The microphone has acoustically engineered nylon fiber sandwiched between 2 layers of foam. This internal pop shield is meant to reduce plosives. Elgato claims that the Wave DX has optimized proximity. The closer I get to the microphone, the more bass response or low-end detail it should transfer into the recording. I think with any microphone, though, that you get proximity effect, and this is just a cool way to name proximity effect. Now it's time to do the plosive test. 6 inches away from the front of the microphone, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I'm going to move into about 3 inches. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Then I'm going to get right up on it, Joe Rogan style. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So if you had a co-host with you in the same room and they were to the side of you, let's say a foot or two, this is approximately a foot away from the side of the microphone. So if you had a co-host in the room with you and they were talking while your mic was open, this is what it would sound like. And then about 2 feet away from the side of the microphone, here's 6 inches from the back of the microphone, and here's about a foot away from the back of the microphone. And then here is approximately 24 inches, 2 feet from the back of the microphone. Now I'm going to type on my keyboard, which is on a different desk, but it is within a couple of feet of the microphone, and we'll see what that sounds like. Now I'll type like I'm trying to be a little more quiet, doing a sneaky Google search. And then I take timestamp notes while I'm podcasting, so I'll often be writing in my notepad. And that, since it's on the same desk, sometimes I get a little bumps, a little bit of wobbles, and I'll just shake the desk just a little bit. So you can hear all the stuff on my desk kind of rumbling, rattling. That's what you could expect to pick up. Now, I did want to give a reference of sound. So I have my SM7B here, and it is plugged in with Mogami cables as well. And now this is me on the Elgato Wave DX. And here I am on the Shure SM7B. Back to the Wave DX. This is how it sounds. Now back to the Shure SM7B. I've tried to match the gain as best I can, but this is the Shure SM7B. I did the same test for co-hosts on my podcast, and I even took off the windscreen just in case you felt like that's coloring or dampening the sound or making it sound muddier. And all of them said no difference when I took it off and put the original windscreen on the Shure SM7B. As far as pros, I think the Elgato Wave DX has a really good sound. Something about it I really like. There is a little bit of extra emphasis on some of the sibilants. That could be just my voice, or I could just be hearing things. That would easily be taken care of on the Tascam Mixcast 4 or the Rodecaster Pro 2, which I have sitting on the desk, both of them, where they both have de-essers that I could just turn on. It is not piercing or grating or anything like that, but it is something that I'm noticing is just right at that borderline of I might want to watch out for those frequencies. Another pro is the attention to detail on the build quality with one caveat. So I like the swivel mount arm that you can mount on either side with the removable logo. I really think it's well done. I thought the casing was plastic when I first got it, but I stuck a magnet to it and it stuck immediately, so it is metal. Another pro is they worked with Lewitt Audio. Lewitt Audio is synonymous with fantastic sound. So what a great choice to work with them. Also, I think even when I'm not exercising good microphone technique, I feel like it's done a really good job against plosives. And out of the stable of dynamic microphones I have, this microphone required the least amount of gain of any microphone I own. So it was much less than the Shure SM7B, and it was about 2 dB, 2 or 3 dB less than the Zoom ZDM1, which I believe up until now was the easiest microphone for me to drive with my various audio interfaces. When it comes to cons, I don't like how I had to go through the Elgato / Corsair store to get the mic. They didn't have the frequency response graph. Not that that really matters or determines whether the microphone's going to be good or bad or whatnot, but I would like to have seen that. And overall, manufacturers, they can hide items that they don't want you to see when it's on their own website. That's why I like to be able to go to various retail sites, and then I can see all the different specs and stuff from a third party. Another potential con is the shape. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. When I first got it, I was on the fence. Now, I'll be honest, it's grown on me. A nitpick on the device is that it ships with no external windscreen. So the way it's built, it's not supposed to require one, but I think it's always good to have one for every mic you have, either a pop filter or a windscreen. And this doesn't come with either, and I couldn't find one that's specifically for it. But I took the windscreen off my Zoom ZDM1, and even though the shape is a lot different, it fits perfectly on there. So that would be an option if you really wanted one. And lastly, the only other nitpick I would have is the little knob that you use to attach the mic and mount. It is really lightweight plastic. It's pretty cheap. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would have liked this to have USB. I'm not one of those people. I love that it's XLR only. And I think this is a really good microphone. I went into this review expecting to not like the microphone, but as I've used it and I've had it in mission critical podcast episodes, important live streams, and I really like it. In fact, I've had it on the boom ever since I got it, and I've not taken it off, and I've left it there because I just absolutely like the sound, and it's really growing on me big time. So I am very pleased with the Elgato Wave DX. But what do you think? Am I delusional? Are you not hearing the crisp, clear sound that I'm hearing? Chime in the comments down below. Since Elgato says this microphone will never need an inline mic booster, I'm going to pair it with this really cheap audio interface in an upcoming video. And I'll put it head to head against my favorite dynamic XLR microphone, the Zoom ZDM1. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you.